So, what does it mean to have the courage to make things that suck? Let me tell you a story. There's once this guy, and he finished this project that he was really excited about. It was his first time really putting his all into something, and it came out better than he expected. He was extremely happy with it. Went into his next project with so much confidence, deeply excited to get into it. But as things progressed over the coming weeks and then the coming months, the way that things were turning out wasn't up to code. It wasn't up to his standard. It wasn't at the level that he'd hoped based on his previous work that he'd really started to put stuff into, put time and effort and thought into. It took him some time, but eventually he realized two things. Number one was that maybe part of, I guess the main one he realized was that he wasn't as good as he thought he was. Even though he'd been good at one thing, even though he'd been able to put that vision together and bring it to life, he realized that didn't mean he could bring anything to life. And number two, what he realized is that maybe his process for developing these ideas was way more important than he initially considered. Because his first project had been based heavily on something that already existed. But the new project was much more original. And because of that, he didn't have the experience or the know-how or any of the information to pull this new project off. Or any, I guess, more, he didn't have the basis. He didn't have the reference to just take from whenever he needed. And because of these things, the new project just wasn't coming along very well. Obviously, that person is me, and it was probably a stupid way to tell that story in the third person, but that's what I'm going through right now. Ended up in the middle of a project. We're finishing shooting this Saturday, and kind of just going over the dailies every time. I'm just not excited about how the footage is coming out. There's a couple, there are good shots. There's stuff I like here and there, but I'm not so confident about my ability to bring the project together, and I'm not so confident about my ability to shoot. Like it's dissolving some of my confidence I had in myself, I guess, or at least reestablishing it somewhere else. So yeah, I'm in the middle of a project that's not coming out how I want it to. And because of that leaves me at a crossroads, right? What I could do is abandon ship. I could jump ship and be like, hey, like this is not for me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm in over my head. I need to go do something else. The idea of this other thing in my head, like that's the thing. That's what I'm gonna be able to bring to life. It's like for real. Like that's what I'm meant to make. Or I could stick with it, see it through to the end, and decide to extract as much information and knowledge and experience from the bad project as humanly possible, so that the next time when this type of project does come around again, I have a much more nuanced approach to it, a much more informed approach to it. And that's what I've decided to do. I was really wrestling with it, and it was like, man, like, do I just jump ship? Is this not for me? There's been all these emotional struggles with this project as well. Like, it's not just the production. And ended up in a place where I was like, dude, like, I can't just not be a closer. I need to close on this. I need to finish it. I need to complete it. I need to have this under my wing of like, oh, this is one of those things I made a while ago that I learned a lot from, even though it sucked. Because I have plenty of projects like that in the past. But at that time, I was much less experienced, and so that was the default. And I just thought that I'd gotten to a point where I could just take on whatever, and the world would be like, "Yeah, man, you got it. Like you already know this and this and that. Like, bro, go crush." It just doesn't work like that. So I'm learning to be a beginner again through this project. And it's really hard to have the courage to be a beginner, to even put this project out there once it's done. Um, it's really hard. But we're finishing shooting on Saturday. Hopefully crush the edit in the next 3 or 4 weeks, get it color graded, and ship it. And it'll be something. And maybe it'll be better than I think. Sometimes the edit always comes out better than I think. Sometimes it's, just aligned with what I thought. You kind of never know. But that's where I'm at. And amidst all of that, I'm trying to figure out how to make content right now for myself too. And so it's been this other struggle of like, okay, do I want to make content about this? Because it's what's relevant right now. It's what I'm working on. Even if I'm not that proud of it, even if it's up and down, it is what I'm working on. And what I want to do is make content about the stuff that I'm working on. And I tried earlier this week. I sat down, I came up with some ideas. I was like, okay, I'm going to shoot this at this hour. I'm going to, very, very laid out plan that is easy for myself as possible. And I went to do it, and all of it felt wrong, and all of it felt forced, and all of it I felt unconfident about. And I sat down with it, and I was like, man, I need to not make content about this. I need to not double down on this project that I'm not excited about. It just needs to be out there. It needs to be done. I need to extract the information from it, but I need to not double down on it. So that's the thesis. Is like, okay, I need to not be afraid to be a beginner, but I need to be wise in my double downing on things. So that's where I'm at. What else do I have to talk about? So I guess with that then, what content do I make? And because of this new information that I'm not as good as I thought it was, what should I take into these next 6 months? The last half of this year? What do I do with that? And the goal is now to be shooting every single week. I mentioned this in my last video, but this is the goal now. Is, hey, I'm going to sit down once a week. I'm going to plan something. I'm either going to shoot it in next week or in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks or whatever, but I'm going to have a board of ideas that I can pull from, that I can flesh out whenever, find somebody to come and be in it, and go and shoot the thing. Keep it simple, keep it focused on sort of the aesthetic visual side of things. That's where I really want to develop myself, and do that every single week. Maybe that's just a piece of content for myself sometimes. Maybe that's, something I go out and shoot with someone else. Maybe it's just one of my friends. Maybe it's just me, but it's less content and more film focused. I don't know. We're going to kind of see. But the goal is to be shooting something now every single week. And I'm saying this out loud as many times as possible just to drill it into my skull that this is what I'm going to be doing with my time every single week. Because this is extremely important, I think. It's going to be a volume game to get where I want to go. I have baseline talent. I have baseline experience. I've made a ton of content. I've made a couple of film projects. I've taken 1 million pictures. And now I need to be more deliberate about developing myself and creating more opportunity for myself to have more experience. Trying to make things look how I want them to look. That's the big thing. It's like, how do I make this look how I want it to look? I don't know. I'm in the middle of this music video and bro, it's just not looking how I want it to look. And I think it's due to inexperience. And there's so many, layers to it. I'm dealing with multiple people on set I'm trying to direct, and we're shooting in environments that we're not asking permission to shoot in. We're just going to shoot because we don't have any money, and usually I try and shoot in much more discreet locations or go out of my way to get permission. And we're not really using very many lights because of the locations we've been doing. I think on Saturday we'll use some more lights, but I feel uncomfortable without more tools in my bag. Anyways, there's so many nuances to why this project hasn't been going the way I've wanted it to, but look at that. I'm learning. I'm obtaining information like, oh, I don't like to shoot this way. Oh, I don't like to handle things on the back end that way. Oh, I need to navigate this like this relationally with the production. I need to make sure I make time for this and less time for this. I spent too much on this. I spent not enough on that. I'm actively learning so much just by participating in this. And what I need to do is do that once a week. If I can expedite this to the point where it's every single week, I'm actively learning things. And everything that I make, I can throw up on my page, and it can just slowly become oh, Jack started here, and then over the next 6 months, wow, he got solid. He got a lot better. He's doing way better now. Look at this versus this. Jack is not him here, but he will be him here. And that's what I'm trying to get. So anyways, that's my goal with the next few months and the coming weeks. And I'll be posting hopefully on this YouTube about stuff that I'm planning to shoot. But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to see that stuff. So I'll drop a link in the description if you're new to this for some reason, like if you don't know me. And hopefully you can follow along because I'll be posting stuff, maybe not week to week, but every, I guess not next week, but starting in 2 or 3 weeks, you'll see the first thing go up. And then you'll probably see the project I've been working on. And then you'll probably see something else next week. And you will, sorry, not probably, you will, because I'm going to be doing this. So anyways, that's the thought, that's the project, that's the vision, that's where I'm at. To have the courage to make more things that suck, to make as many things that suck as possible, but put my all into them. Just make more stuff, volume. Let's go. Anyways, that's what I got for today. Thanks for watching. Be making some more movies and then making some more content about making those movies. Doubling down on projects that I am excited about and having the courage to work on things that I'm not. So, thanks for watching. Jack Stevens, signing off.